Thank you, citizens. Welcome one and all to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Today, I believe today is the most Monday of the year because yesterday was the beginning of daylight savings time and we sprung forward. I might have pulled something, but considering the way things are going, I've never been more grateful to be 1 hour closer to the end of whatever this is. What is this? I think we know what this is. The clocks may have sprung forward yesterday, but today the stock market fall down, go boom. The Dow Jones dropped 890 points. Now, I don't know a lot of financial jargon, but let's just say your 401 is not K. There is no good way to spin the story. But Fox Business correspondent Charlie Gasparino did find a bad way.
Who cares if there's just a market gyration to this? Who cares where we take the Dow down to 35,000 if that's what happens? Nobody will care. We avoided a recession. We reoriented the economy to the private sector. It's going to go up because we are unleashing. His plan is to unleash this sort of animal spirits.
He's what? He's gonna unleash the animal spirit? That's not the advice you get from your financial guy. That's what the shaman says as he's pouring the ayahuasca down your throats. Trump's twitchy tariff hand is bumming out everybody on Wall Street. Recently, one of those everybody said, "We are exhausted, and it's still Q1. Do you know how hard it is to exhaust Wall Street? They wake up every morning to a hot cup of cocaine. And then, just to take the edge off, more cocaine. Some of them are here tonight. All right. Trump's policies aren't just hurting the markets. According to the Atlanta Fed, so far, growth in the current quarter was a stunning negative 2.8%, signaling that the GDP is shrinking at the fastest pace since the pandemic lockdown. In the first Trump term, it took a disease to destroy the economy. This time, he is the disease. In his address, in his address to Congress last week, Trump admitted his tariffs might cause what he called a disruption. Yesterday, Maria Bartiromo asked him about that.
Is that what you meant? The stock market going down was the disruption? What other disruption were you alluding to?
Look, what I have to do is build a strong country. You can't really watch the stock market. If you look at China, they have a 100-year perspective. We have a quarter. We go by quarters.
That's true.
And you can't go by that. You have to do what's right.
Oh, sure. With a big enough time perspective, nothing really matters. Beth, I can tell you're mad I'm 2 hours late to our wedding, but I will remind you, on a geological scale, 2 hours is punctual. Does a mountain care that I get distracted looking at sandwiches on TikTok? On Witch Talk? No, so what are people supposed to do with Trump's erratic policies and has the markets climbing one day and plummeting the next? Well, thankfully, The Late Show's newest sponsor is an investment firm that is on top of every economic shift.
What if you had the power to see tomorrow? At Huxon Financial, our investment specialists have an eye on your future.
Financial planning means stability, and there's no better time to start investing than right now. Because Oh, what are we supposed to do? Oh, thank God. As I was saying, there's no better time to invest in the stock market. Because sure, it can be volatile, but it's still one of the safest ways for your... What? Why is it doing that? What's that sound? Who's even making that sound?
Huxon Financial. You don't need that money like now, do you?
Thank you. Many thanks to Huxton, all the good people at Huxton Financial. While Trump's economic plan may be chaos, his plan for reforming the government is also that. For instance, as soon as he plopped down in the Oval back in January, he signed an executive order targeting DEI programs. So now federal agencies have flagged hundreds of words to limit or avoid. Some are predictable phrases like multicultural, anti-racism, and gender identity. But the list also includes common words like barriers, sex, and women. A list clearly made by men who have experienced barriers having sex with women. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I don't know necessarily how they're doing this, who's going out, whether it's by hand or using AI, they're yanking words out of sentences at random. For example, the FAA job site used to promise applicants, you'll be part of a diverse workforce. Now it says, you'll be part of a workforce. Sell it with sizzle, fellas. This could catch on. KFC's gonna go from it's finger licking good to it's finger good. Of course, really? Applause? Got some finger fans over there, of course. The supposed reason Trump killed DEI in government is because he wants to hire on merit only, like his merit hire at Defense, okay? Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, one of the top 3 Weekend Fox and Friends hosts, currently shotgunning a mini bottle of Fireball. He is less DEI, more DUI. Hegseth is all in. Hegseth is all in on erasing scary woke words from the internet. He recently ordered all the military services to spend countless hours poring over years of web posts, photos, news articles, and videos to remove any mentions that promote diversity, equity, and inclusion. They're being so literal that one of the things they took down, and this is real, are photos of the plane that dropped the bomb on Hiroshima, the Enola Gay. It's gone. It's been replaced with a photo of the famous Enola, your uncle's longtime roommate. Yes. Wow. True story. That's true. Ed, they're taking down anything that could possibly have to do with gay people, including photos of an Army Corps of Engineers dredging project because a local engineer had the last name Gay. That's also why they deleted all the images of famed Civil War General Hiram T. Scissoring. Nothing from the finger fans over there? Nothing? Very selective. Trump is not just a sack of incompetence and malice. He is also very thin-skinned. If he's not the center of attention at all times, he tends to get his waddle in a bunch. Take England. Last month, he met with UK Prime Minister and bottle of drinkable yogurt, Keir Starmer. Starmer brought an invitation from King Charles for an unprecedented second state visit for Trump. But then King Charles hosted Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and now Trump is privately fuming that the king makes other leaders feel special too. President Trump, Mr. President, if you thought Charles wouldn't two-time you, you missed a whole season of The Crown. Now, right? The king is also in the news for another reason, because it was announced that he is set to debut a radio show on Apple Music. Wow. Oh, just like King Arthur before him, who pulled the Bluetooth-enabled microphone from the stone and started his podcast, The Round Table, with his co-hosts Lancelot and Will Arnett. As part of the radio show, as part of his new radio show, the king released a curated playlist that includes songs like Crazy in Love by Beyonce, Haven't Met You Yet by Michael Bublé, and Le'Veon Rose by Grace Jones. In comparison, Prince William only has one song on his playlist, I Just Can't Wait to Be King. Charles explained. Maybe, probably. He's the right age. He's the right age. Charles reminisced about one of the songs on his playlist.
Kylie Minogue came to St. James's Palace to perform this song in 2012. The song is The Locomotion, and this is music for dancing. Again, it has that infectious energy which makes it, I find, incredibly hard to sit still.
Very hard to sit still, yes. It's very hard to sit still. Summon the gods because the rhythm is going to get me. Locomotion is not the only dance I know. I also know how to do the twist, the mashed potato, and watch me whip. Watch me nay-nay. Hey. We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Kate Blanchett and Tramell Tillman. But when we come back,